Hello everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. So in today's episode, the big focus getting set up right now is ranches. I want to start ranching hatches as soon as I can, because that free coal and meat will really mean a lot to our colony moving forward. It'll make it so I can be lazy with the rest of this stuff. You don't really need to set up ranches for a lot of things, but I personally like setting them up. So I think in terms of location, I want to put our ranches around about here, which does mean I'm going to start having to dig into a little bit of slime. Uh, so what I'm going to do to counteract this is I'm going to put some storage bins in our water tank. If you have something that off-gases and it's submerged, it doesn't have to be with this much water. Just like a little drop is actually plenty. Um, if it's submerged, it won't actually off-gas anymore, so this will keep it nice and out of the way. Uh, in the future, I'll probably have like a little designated spot for it, but just for right now, this will be perfect. I also noticed that we have a blueprint to check out, so we can go see what that is. And we got bright checker drywalls. Oh boy. Cue up the dig out of all of that. Alright, so I think I've got our stable set up, and this is just the generic layout of a 24 by 4 tiled room, and the reason that's important is that's the maximum size that a stable can be, which is 96 tiles. The reason we want that maximum size is the bigger your stable is, the more creatures you can have in your stable. So we just want to make it as efficient as possible. We're going to go in the priorities tab real quick, and I've set auto to focus on attacking, building, and digging. We also want him, since he has a little bit of operating, if he's not doing one of those three, to focus on that. With pay, we're actually going to crank her up to the max for operating. We don't have much operating right now, but when it comes time for that, it'll be good to have her ready. We'll let Lyra focus explicitly on ranching, Camille will focus on farming and decorating if she doesn't have to farm. And we're actually going to, now since we have a cook, is disallow cooking for everyone except Devon. Since we have him on a higher skill level, he'll do it a lot faster. And we only really want him doing it, because it's a pretty time-intensive task. Actually, just in time, Lyra has a single point for critter ranching. We can finally start wrangling up all these hatches who have been just wandering around our base. These bottles here are actually off-gassing the polluted oxygen, and we, especially now that we're digging into slime, we want as little polluted oxygen in our base as possible. So I'm going to set up a deodorizer right next to them, just to help clean up any polluted oxygen that's produced as a result. I think I've actually realized too, because this is so low down, this is going to start filling with carbon gas. So I'm going to start digging out more of the base on a little bit of a lower priority, but the faster we get it started, the better. Also, too, if you've been noticing these cracks around the map and tiles, that just means they have something buried in them. That could be either food or a hatch or really anything. We're also just going to set up some ladders for now so they can easily get around through it. I believe the duplicate reach range is 4 tiles up and 3 tiles down. That's why generally people make these 4 tall rooms. It's good for a whole host of other reasons too, but it's a pretty safe standard to abide by. We've also got another printable, and I just realized they all have shriveled taste buds as their positive. I think we're going to go with this Ari here. The construction and the athletics are really nice. It is a little unfortunate his construction is decreased by a little bit, but it's offset by his interest, and he'll just gain it as he keeps going on. The copper would be nice, but I think we need an extra set of hands for now, just because there's a lot of digging and other stuff I want to be doing right now. So, welcome, Builder Ari. And since he's fresh out of the gate, we're just immediately... We're actually, I think, going to go into improved carrying, because we want to get into that athletics sooner rather than later. Nicola's also got a point, so we're going to give him astronomy. And Devin's got a point, so we're going to give him cooking too. Or grilling too. While we're also here, it's probably a good time to start giving some of them their hats. So this is another in-game way of being able to differentiate who does what. Which I do like, but I think the naming convention makes it a lot clearer. So now, eventually they'll all come up to their printing pod and get their new hat. And Chef Devin's our first one. And off to the bathroom he goes. Alright, so a couple of updates, because I realized I paused my recording. First off, I reconnected the pipes here, because since just this one was connected, it was slowly dripping out the water just for this first one. Now it's connected, it's going all the way. Secondly, as I'm sure you can tell, I've planned to dug out this huge portion and start draining this water into our tank. I think our tank's big enough to support this water, so I just want to start clearing area out for whenever we want to start building things. I'll also start digging us out this way. Eventually I'm going to set up a water lock here. I don't want to expose this chlorine yet if I don't have to. But once we're ready for it, we'll set up an airlock over there. We also did start digging into some slime, so I set up some storage bins down here to take care of that. We didn't have the slime dug up yet, but now we do, and now it's being safely stored in there. Luckily, because of that, and because of this deodorizer here, we're pretty quickly eliminating all the slime lung germs, so it should be gone from our base soon enough. Also realized that I had a rock crusher skin that I want to make use of, so we swapped it out, and we're putting eggshell to lime on infinite. Anytime we use the egg cracker, or anytime some creatures are born, I believe, we're gonna get some eggshell, and I believe this is its only purpose, is to be converted into lime, so why not? I think next we're gonna queue up to smelting. We want to get those fire poles, and the temp shift plates are really good, and eventually we do want to make use of this metal refinery. It might be a little bit until we do, but we want to have it when we're ready for it. I think now, though, is a good time to start setting up our ranches. So first, we're going to get a grooming station. Now we're going to take a critter drop-off, a critter feeder, and then a storage bin just for a little extra storage. These critter feeders actually don't hold that much, so it's nice to have a storage bin nearby so they don't have to walk too far. Then we're going to make use of a little trick where we put a pneumatic door here and put some tiles on top of it so our hatches can't climb over. So what this does is it keeps the hatches in this little confined area. That way we don't have to worry about all the hatches who are down here when they come all the way over here to get groomed. Also, too, when we start setting up some shipping, it keeps our costs down for auto sweepers since everything's going to all be over here. However, since we are doing this, we are actually going to have to extend our ranches by a couple more tiles. I didn't really think ahead about that. We're going to want to get rid of 3 tiles correspondingly to make up for the 3 tiles of space we're placing here. I'm going to set up a ladder so they can access it, and dig out this area as well. Put this on a little high priority so they can focus on getting this done. I didn't realize we actually do have some slime lung here too. We're going to keep this pretty small, that way we can determine which way the polluted oxygen is going to go up through. I think we're going to want to put a airflow tile right here, a deodorizer on it, And we'll connect that up to our power grid. Gonna be a little ugly, but I think I'm gonna have us come up and over and down because I want them to focus on getting this deodorizer built first. So we're gonna put it on a bit of a higher priority. Actually, what'll work too is if it comes in through this way, this deodorizer will also catch it. So hopefully, won't need that other one. We've also got another printable. I think right now we've just got too many dupes. Seven's a lot for this early. At least I think so. So we'll just take the pipsqueak for now. I think for now we actually are going to make use of a carbon skimmer. We've got way too much buildup here. And it'll also help us use some of this water so we can get into this reserve up there. Since this does produce polluted water, though, we will have to set up another water sieve. Pipes. Now, we'll only want to feed just a little bit of water into the system, not a lot. So eventually, once we get some in, we'll cut off those pipes. And we want to do this sooner rather than later. That way, they can keep doing their work down here without having to take a breath every second. Actually, I realized I had it right before. These rooms are a little too long. So we can actually just get rid of this. Actually, we'll leave it in for now. That way it forces the gas to funnel through a smaller area. I just realized, actually, we got little Lyra trapped right here. We're just gonna send this on a pretty high priority. In fact, actually, put that on 9. We really want them to focus on that. Oh, well, that's actually really bad. Well, it might be easier then. Put it right here. I'm gonna put it on a max out priority. Someone will come to do it. Or they'll reach first. Hopefully she can get out of here before anything bad happens. Aww. We are starting to run into an issue now. So because of the overflow, our pipes are starting to get really full. So we really need to get those thimble reeds. Go ahead and snag a couple. I see one here. We've only got the one up here to start. This is actually a lot more urgent than I thought. So what we're going to do for now is just rush getting out of here. I'll set up the water lock later. It's not too important yet. We're going to put a ladder here. Luckily, we do have someone to mine through Abyssalite. I actually think I want to come at it through here. That might be better. It's less Abyssalite to get through. A whole lot less slime. Now I'm going to put this on a pretty high priority. They need to do this pretty soon. I think she's using the last bathroom visit we've got. In fact, I'm actually going to crank that to an 8. It's not even higher, actually. Hopefully they can get there before we run out of pipe space. We really just need one for now. As long as we have one, we have somewhere where the polluted water can go. 2, I think, is a sustainable amount, and 3, I don't think we produce enough for 3. And so here, we're going to set them for some sedimentary rock. We don't have any right now, but there's lots of it in the slime biome. We're also going to set up some resources over here that we want to keep track of. So currently we're using algae to breathe, coal to power our machines, and then we'll keep track of water is always a good thing to keep track of. And I think we'll just start with that. Yeah, we've just now hit the really bad point. I think what I'm going to do is this is a temporary fix, but we're going to build the pipe out just a little here, just so it has a little more storage space. Should provide a little bit of temporary relief, hopefully. In fact, we gotta get this done soon. I think what we're actually gonna do is get some of this water out of here if we can help it. Oh, now it seems like it's flowing the other way. Alright. We're gonna disconnect that for now. I don't think we have much else of an option other than just to hurry. I think we are gonna end up with a little bit of a mess, though. I'm pretty desperate. I think we're gonna yellow alert this. Actually, this is great. So it is making use of this storage down here, so we bought ourselves a little more time. We're also, while we're out here, going to submit a bioscan and see what's in here. I think what we're going to try to do is just break a temporary hole so we can get some oxygen out here, because right now they can't breathe up here. And he's going to keep running back. There we go. So now we'll want to seal it up soon enough, but now they don't have to walk the whole way back to get something to breathe. We got our first neural vacillator. We're going to inspect that. And I think we're going to put Otto into the first one. He's really going to be the thing that's propelling us through this outer side, so we want him as strong as we can get him. Now he's done. So we'll complete the neural process. And he's got deep diver. That's exactly what we wanted. So he consumes half as much oxygen as normal now. We still will need 2 of our diffusers, but that'll help us a lot in keeping algae costs down. And now over here, compliant thimbleweed. And we'll copy it over to this one too. And this should hopefully solve our problem. It's on a really high priority. We're also now going to block this off again. We're actually going to go a little further up and meet with the Abyss Light to complete that temperature seal. I think we will have to put some ladders in and just go up and over. We got another printable. I think we're just going to take this pink unitard. Slowly start draining out. I'm going to copy the settings to this one. Here. into here. We are actually going to leave these closed, that way our hatches don't just escape whenever they feel like. But I think now is a good time to wrangle all. So we're just going to go over our whole base. We can wrangle up anyone we can. Other than you. We don't need you. We're also next going to go for the electrolyzer. We'll make good use of that soon enough. We've also got a couple more skill points, so we're going to give Otto his super hard digging, so now there's nothing that can stop him. We're going to give Camille the art fundamentals, just so she can get started on working on this. We're going to start setting up some decor soon that we want to take advantage of. And then Pei will give her the exosuit training. I'm going to put this on a higher priority, that way they know to bring them here. Now we're going to start the first ranching. Sadly, he is elderly, so I don't think we're going to tame this one before he passes on, but that's fine. Actually, we'll just get rid of him now, then. I think we're also going to give the pink unitard to Otto, just to make him stand out even more.